That's right, guys. You can now automate trading strategies on Hyperliquid, on a decentralized exchange. More on that later, where you can connect your wallet and trade those funds without KYC. And also, it's very cheap to operate, especially if you live in a country where your exchanges are usually expensive. I'm not going to name names. Then this could be a great option for you. On top of that, Hyperliquid is #1 when it comes to trading volume for decentralized exchanges for derivatives, aka futures. And yes, it also supports shorting and leverage. So you can do that as well. I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. So basically, we're going to run through this awesome and amazing diagram showing you exactly how the trading signals get from your trading strategy into Hyperliquid, how to set everything up. Also, we're going to look at how to create an account, even how to fund the Hyperliquid account, how to create a bot, how to automate the trading strategy from beginning to the end. All right. I'm also going to tell you about the risks of using Hyperliquid and also the trading fees and all of that in this video. And at the end of the video, you're basically fully equipped to take a strategy. I will show you which one, and automate it and have all the signals getting automatically executed. I'm very excited because this opens massive amount of opportunities. I think also that Signum, the tool I'm showing you now for automation, is the first one who has decentralized exchange integration. So you're the first one to know, you're the first one to use it. It's awesome. Let's get started. And as always, this is not financial advice. Crypto is risky. You can lose all of your money. In addition to the risks that the blockchain and decentralized exchanges bring to you, which I will explain at the end of the video. All right, let's get started with the trading flow so you know how everything works, and then we're gonna go and make it happen, right? Very briefly, the trading flow looks like this in this diagram. Let's zoom in and check it out, right? So you have a strategy on TradingView, any strategy, okay? Like this one, for example, Gaussian channel or whatever strategy. And we also have a couple of strategies here in Signum, right? We have the Ichimoku as well on top of the Gaussian. We have also some Hull suit and some other stuff that you can use. Any strategy, okay? It will take, or it will have trading signals. This is a buy signal, for example. The blue arrow is a buy signal. That's how TradingView shows it. And then it will send an alert. So you have to set up an alert. That's all you have to do, right? Set up an alert. And the alert has a webhook. And the webhook is sent to Signum. And Signum knows what to do, right? And then if you tell Signum to send the trading signal to Hyperliquid, then that's what's going to happen, right? So it will open positions on Hyperliquid here, right? On the positions tab, it will go short, long, leverage, everything, right? It's fully supported. It works pretty much the same as if you use Bybit or Binance or whichever other centralized exchange. So that's the gist of it, all right? So in Signum, you can then go ahead and set up the leverage factor and all of this stuff, which I will show you later on. But quickly here, you can have basically a Hyperliquid connection. And depending on the trading pair, you can have different leverage allowance depending on what Hyperliquid allows you to do. And then here you just copy this, and with this you can buy and sell, or long and short. So there is only one alert that you need. It's very simple to set up, but you need to understand, because this is on a decentralized exchange, you have multiple options to create an account. So let's talk about creating an account next. When it comes to creating an account, you have two options: wallet or email. That's what Hyperliquid allows. Let me show you the difference. And basically, let me tell you which one we're going to look at in this video, because it's quite important. So first of all, you can do the wallet version, right? Where you go to Hyperliquid, you click connect, and then you connect with a wallet, right? Or the other option is to use an email address. Fun fact, email address is much easier than wallet because, well, many reasons I will show you in this video. But if you want to stay fully on chain and basically, you know, never touch a centralized exchange or not have any connection to your any personal email accounts or anything like that, well, of course, then wallet will be your option. And wallet is also the one we're going to look at, because in Signum, we're already explaining when you create a bot here, right? You click on create bot, futures, Hyperliquid, yeah? You scroll down and we already explain how to set everything up with email. It's very easy and has a lot of benefits as well. If you have no issues using an email address, then it's actually simpler, all right? But if you want to know how to do it with a wallet, then continue watching this video. And also I will tell you even more of like how to set up the automation and everything, right? So the wallet, right? We have to keep in mind, as always in Signum, right? We want sub-accounts, okay? So this is my MetaMask, for example, and I want each bot to have their own funds and not commingle them with other funds, as always, because this is called segregation of accounts, and it's very important. Okay, we even have a video in Signum about this, but very briefly, I will show you the video as well. But very briefly, if a strategy, right, the bot trades and makes profits, then it should take its own profits into the next trade and be able to trade with more funds, right? But if they're all together in one wallet and it's not clear which funds belong to which bot, then it's a bit tricky, right? Because there will be times when you're not invested at all, and then those funds just lie on the account, and then another bot can take them, right? So this is one downside if you commingle them. But if you really want to know exactly why sub-accounts or segregation of accounts both are important, then watch this video here. It's linked everywhere. Whenever you set up a bot here, we have the link to this video because we want to make sure people understand why this is important. All right. So in order to mimic sub-accounts, which don't really exist in Web3 space, we create different accounts in the wallet. It's very simple. So I have one account which has $10 here to show you today how it works, how it trades and everything. And I have this naming convention, right? Hyper, because I want to know that this is an account for Hyperliquid. Gaussian channel strategy on Bitcoin, right? This is also Hyper Ichimoku on Solana, right? And this is how I remember, or I see easily, which account belongs to which trading bot, all right? And how to create this is very simple, right? So you have one wallet, right? So you have just one seed phrase. Obviously, you're not going to create a new seed phrase, right? That's not necessary at all, because within one seed phrase, one wallet, you can have multiple accounts. And so you click here on the top to select the account, but then on the bottom here, you click to add account or hardware wallet. But we're going to add an account. Then you click on Ethereum account, right? And you give it a name and see, Hyper Gaussian BTC. Boom, right? Very easy. Click on add account, and that's what you have to do to create this account. And it now has, you now have a new wallet address actually, and you need to just switch the network because you need to be on Arbitrum. That's because when you go to Hyperliquid to deposit funds, well, I will show you later, but when you deposit funds, they want it on Arbitrum, all right? So then click here, right? Switch to Arbitrum 1, all right? And then this is the wallet address that you have for this trading bot. Cool, right? So obviously now you need to get funds onto this account, right? So let's talk about that next. To add funds to the account, you have two options. Again, sending it on chain, right? From some other blockchain to Arbitrum onto your wallet, or from a centralized exchange. Let's show you both of them. It's very simple to do. And so remember that you have created a new account, right? It has this wallet address, okay? This is mine, for example, here. And so I can just copy this wallet address, right? And I can send funds to it, right? From wherever, right? So first option is to send it from a different wallet to this wallet. Obviously, it has to be on the Arbitrum blockchain. So that is why, let me show you, and I will put the link down below. There is an Arbitrum bridge, okay? You can use it. It's very simple, right? It's an official one. So you can go to the link down below and you can use this bridge, right? Let me delete the squiggles. And basically what I'm showing you here is that you're selecting the network where you have your USDC, right? You put the amount you want to bridge, and then you pick Arbitrum 1 as the receiving chain, right? USDC, that's what you want to move over, and you do it and so on, and then you have funds on the wallet. It's very simple, right? So at some point it will look like this because USDC is there, right? On Arbitrum, okay? But there is one small caveat, of course. Because you're fully on chain, you need to also have the gas token on Arbitrum, and that is Ethereum, all right? So you need to also have Ethereum on that account, on that wallet, all right? So I will send myself some Ethereum right now and get back to you. All right, I have some Ethereum, I have USDC. Now I'm ready to go to Hyperliquid and to connect and to deposit the USDC onto the Hyperliquid account. So I clicked on connect, I get this pop-up. I will show you that later on. I don't think you see it now. So then I am connected now with my wallet to this exchange. You can see, right? Both the same address. Awesome. Now what I have to do is I have to get out of the way. So let me put myself over there and I have to enable trading. So click on that, approve, whatever signing you have to sign. And then Arbitrum, USDC, max 10, they know, right? Because we're connected with the wallet, so it sees the USDC there. Now you can click deposit, right? And you need to approve the transaction. There is a pop-up coming, right? And you need to approve this. And that's why you need the gas token, right? Because you need to send the funds into the exchange smart contract. So confirm this and then waiting for the funds to arrive on Hyperliquid. How do you see if it's arrived? You go to balances. It's on the bottom here. And you wait for it to pop up. Ta-da! Now I have USDC for the perpetual account because that's what they really all about here. They are not really big on the spot account. So don't even think about trading spot here. Okay, forget about it. It's useless. I mean, look at the coins they have, right? They have BTC, Ethereum, and the rest is pretty much useless, right? Perpetual futures, that's what this exchange is all about, all right? So that's why the standard, the default, and I'm again in the way, right? You don't see that. So here, the standard, the default is that the funds are on the perpetuals futures account, okay? So I have 10 USDC, amazing. Trading on this exchange, by the way, will not cost me any gas fees because they sponsor it on their own blockchain, right? So I can go back and forth. It's not the problem. The only thing I pay are the fees, right? The trading fees, which are pretty low. I will show you that at the end, okay? Okay, we managed to do all the boring stuff. Now let's do the fun stuff, all right? Which is creating a bot and automating a trading strategy. So let's go, right? So funding account, check, all right? Now let's create a bot and automate a strategy. Those come together, and at the end of the video we're going to talk about the risks of using Hyperliquid and also the fees and my personal opinion. All right, so let's get started with creating a bot. So go to signum.money, click on sign up now, create an account, all right, and sign up. It's very simple, and then you will end up and you will see something like this. You will not have any bots, that's fine, but then click on create bot here. Okay, click. And now click on futures and then on Hyperliquid. It's the only futures exchange we have for now. We're going to also add, for example, Apex exchange is the next one we're going to add, but more on that in a different video, right? We're going to also add more of the centralized exchanges, futures accounts as well. Long story, just subscribe to the channel, right? You will learn more over time. All right. And here what you need to do is you need to fill in the API wallet address, the private key, and the public address. It's very simple. It's all explained down here. And you have already done create account and fund account because you watched this video, so that's fine. If you want to do it with email, you can follow these instructions, okay? But now it's about creating the API key, which is the last and third step, all right? And that step is the same for everybody, all right? So to create the API key, to get these informations here, you need to go to Hyperliquid, and you're most likely going to be here, right? So you go here, you click on more, and then you click on API. Okay, and here you will see there is already an API key that is for Hyperliquid themselves to be allowed to execute trades on your account, right, that you have just created. So that's how it works, right? If you want to remove it, for example, then they will ask you to sign a transaction. All of that stuff is on chain. So do not delete this, keep it as it is, right? Let's create another API key. It's called Signum. I may zoom in a bit. Signum, yeah, and here you can generate a wallet address. You can click generate however often you like. Once you're happy, right, click on authorize API wallet. Okay, now click on max validity, and this is the first risk that I have to tell you already, because this will expire after 180 days, okay, as it says, and there is no way to extend it or for us to inform you even, because they don't tell us how long it will still last. So that's pretty bad, right? So make sure to put in your calendar some kind of reminder to create a new API key, come back to Signum and change it, all right? Otherwise, your trading will stop working. But having said that, 180 days is quite a long time. I mean, 6 months, right? You will survive. Maybe until then, they have some cooler things and we're gonna integrate automatically extending them over API. If they have, we will do it, right? Okay, so do that, but don't yet click authorize, okay? Copy first the API wallet address and go back to Signum and put it here. Okay, and now go back here to Hyperliquid and copy the private key. They have a copy button, right? Click on this and then put here the private key, right? And you're not done yet. Okay, now click on authorize and you will see there is a pop-up and you need to sign this on chain. All right, sign this, and then you're not done yet because what you need now is the public address. So copy this. This is the address of your wallet, really. Copy this and then put it here. Okay, and now you're done. Click validate and it should be fine. And this is already a good sign here. I can call it what I call it, Gaussian BTC. I don't have to call it Hyper because it's clear that it's a Hyperliquid bot, right? And I will show you why that's the case. It can already see my funds, you see, right? Assets on this account, 10 USDC, so that's great. Click on create bot and yeah, we have a bot. There you go. And we have it on BTC USDC. If I go back here, by the way, to my bots, I can see it. And this is the one. And here it says Hyperliquid. There's no need to say Hyper here, right? I mean, I know it's Hyper, right? The whole point of this here in the wallet was that the wallet can have so many accounts and I want to know which one is for what, okay? So this is the bot. I can choose, because I chose Bitcoin as a trading pair, I can choose 40x leverage, which definitely not a good idea. But whatever, let's choose like 2x or something and save it. And basically that's it, right? Now it's about the automation. So let me talk about the automation next. It's very cool, actually, very important. So we created the bot, but we didn't yet automate the strategy, right? Because for automating the strategy, and let me clear this, we need to connect to TradingView, okay? We didn't do that yet. We connected to Hyperliquid for now. That's fine. But now we need to do this connection as well, okay? So let's do that now. All right, we're getting closer to the real fun stuff. So now it's about connecting the trading strategy with Signum, right? Because Signum is already connected to the exchange. So it is all about automating a trading strategy. Let's go. All right. So you have a couple of options. So if you go to Signum, you're searching for a strategy. I mentioned before, you can take this, or any strategy from TradingView that you find here, and you search for strategy, right? Oops. You also type it properly, and you can search for the whole ecosystem of strategies in TradingView. All right. But it's a bit tricky to find a good one. Yes. That is why we have put some good ones over here. Some of them are Signum only, where you need to give yourself access by putting your TradingView username, right? And we put quite some work into this too. And we have some more coming, so it's going to be cool. But let's say we go for the Gaussian channel one. So you can basically go here to Signum, to strategies, get access, put your TradingView username. The username is to be found here on the top of your profile. This one, not the email address. Yeah, you need to put the username and then click on give access. And that's fine, right? It will be fine. And you will find it here. It's very easy, right? Everything is explained in Signum. But you already know this, right? If you watch my channel. And I have put the Gaussian channel on my chart, but I've also put the strategy tester on my chart, because if you go here to your bot and you want to see signals coming in quickly, right? Then if you scroll down just a little bit, there is a section called you want to test if your bot works. Yes or no, right? We have a test strategy you can use. So we have a video explaining how that works. Okay, and it's pretty simple. There is a strategy that is public, and it's called signal tester. All right, and this signal tester, it requires you to be on the 1 minute chart, because not to make money, yeah, but just to basically get signals quickly. All right, and this will send a buy signal in 1 minute and a sell signal in another minute, right? And this is long only, but that's what it is, right? So I will update this at some point to be short, to also go short, so that you can test that as well, but it works, right? So let's take this, because you have access to the same exact thing, right? So the signal tester is basically, you might even find it by just searching on TradingView, right? It's completely public. It's called signal tester v1.3 from this guy, from me, right? And so put it on the chart. If you're not on the 1 minute, it will tell you, please switch to the 1 minute chart, blah, blah. If you're here on the 1 minute, it will tell you, now set up a strategy alert. Perfect. That's what we're going to do. All right. Let's set up this alert. For that, we have the strategy tester open, right? And we are on the signal tester report, right? And here we want to automate this particular strategy. Okay. Do not click on alerts here. This is the wrong place, because this is a price alert. What you need is a strategy alert, right? So you have to create it from here, right? Add alert. And then you can see that the condition is the strategy. Perfect, right? Okay, then you need to set it to the future as much as possible. If you have a premium account, you can just set it to an open-ended alert, set expired or unexpired, and then you'll be fine. If you don't have that, set it as far into the future as you can. Always click on the set date button, otherwise it will not take it. And obviously now you need to create some kind of reminder in your calendar to come and update the alert, because otherwise it will expire and not trigger anymore. But that saves you a lot of money, right? Because if you have the money, buy the premium subscription, maybe wait for Black Friday or whatever, kind of promotion they do, and then it pays off. But if you don't have it, you want to save money, do it like this and just set a reminder to come back and change the alert, okay? So open-ended alert, for me at least, right? Then just need to put in the name, the message, clean the message, right? Nothing inside. And you need to put in the webhook. So let's do it. It's very simple. Go to Signum, scroll down. This is the tab for automating a TradingView strategy. This is what you need for that. So copy the alert name, go to TradingView, put it here. Now the message, copy the whole message here, put it here. Then go to notifications, turn on webhook URL, right? Copy the webhook URL. This is also provided here. Go to TradingView, put it there, click create. That's it. Okay. So now you have automated, right? You have basically taken the strategy signals and sent them to Signum, right? And Signum will then send them to Hyperliquid. So that's what you just did, right? It looks simple, but it's actually very powerful. So you have an alert here now, right, on the alerts tab, and it already triggered it's a sell signal, but well, a sell signal, we didn't have any position yet, right? So it's basically useless. So when you come here and you refresh, it will say skipped sell signal because no position, open position was found. That's fine, okay, no problem at all. And we're gonna wait for the buy signal, all right? Also, you can refresh here positions and see which ones you have open. There is none yet. So if I stay here on Hyperliquid, I will see the position just popping up, right? Once 1 minute is over, it will just boom, be here, 2x leverage, because that's what we have set up in Signum, right? Here we have 2x leverage set up, all right? So let's wait for it to come. Okay, I ran into a small issue which might help you, right, to have the solution as well. So if you have just 10 USDC, that's the minimum. And if you have below 10 USDC, they don't even consider it being there, right? Doesn't exist. So you cannot trade with less than 10 USDC. So I've sent myself a bit more money so I can actually trade with it. So it will arrive very soon. And then I will send those USDC to Hyperliquid, and then I have almost 20. And then I can do this automation again. All right. So yeah, put more than 10 USDC and you'll be fine. All right, going back to Hyperliquid and waiting for this trade to come in to open a position. Now we have enough money, right? We have 19.98 USDC should be enough. So when the next buy signal comes, it will get sent to my account and trade. All right, let's check quickly what this thing is doing. So the last signal was a buy signal, but that was before I put the money, right? So I need to wait for the next one. Cool. So going there, waiting, and then you will see. Okay, there it is. I have a 2x buy signal, and that's awesome. It's invested with this amount of money, right? Great. And if I go to Signum, I also see that it successfully now placed an order. It was a buy signal somewhere here, order buy, right? 100% of my position, of my collateral. And then it used 2x leverage, right? Because that's what I put here on this slider. And if you click on refresh positions, you will see the position here, and you can also see the profit and loss that it has. And if you go to the dashboard, it's very cool actually, because we fetch the positions because it's a futures account, right? And we take the collateral plus the P&L and add it to your total USD value. So if you would liquidate your entire holdings, including your positions, this would be your so-called net worth. Okay, it's a pretty cool number. We want this number to go up, all right? So in the dashboard, you now see positions as well, right? That's cool. So going back to the bot, I can actually click directly here, and now it has no position because, well, there was a sell signal coming in, right? So we had a sell signal here, perfect. Position size 0, that's exactly what we want to happen, right? In the next buy signal, it will again go 2x long and so on. Of course, this is just a test. So I will delete this alert because it's not very useful for long term, and I will turn off the strategy, and instead I want the Gaussian on the 1-day chart, right? So what I will do now is I will check if I like the performance and so on, and as usual I will automate this strategy with this bot, right? Because this is for the Gaussian BTC. The Gaussian needs the 1-day chart, right? So what I will do is simply go here, I will add an alert, I will do the same as before, put here the name, the message, the notification, click create, and that's it. Because now I've automated it on the 1-day chart, right? The proper strategy, not the tester, okay? And I will follow these trading signals, right? So the next trading signal for this particular strategy, and yeah, I have some lines on the chart, will be a sell signal, right? Because it's already invested, right? It's tiny bit in profit. So the next one will be a sell signal, right? So if you want to be synchronized with the strategy, you need to also be invested on the account that you have connected to this bot, right? That you have, and then it will sell for you. It's really nice, okay? You can get started anytime, right? You just need to be synchronized. So if you were starting here, right, then what you need is the USDC. But if you start here, you need to be already in a position, right? Because it's already in a position, right? Okay, cool. So you can do that by going here. You can open your own position, right? You can say, okay, I want to go long 2x, whatever, with 100%, right? Place order, right? And now you're in a position manually, right? You're in position manually. And that is fine because if I refresh, I see the position here. And if you connect this now to this strategy with the alert that I told you before, it will sell or close the position for you automatically. It's really nice. So now I'm synchronized with the strategy, right? Strategy is in a position right now. You can also see that here, right? There is an open long and it's not yet closed, yeah? And I'm also in a position, right? And I don't have to go to Hyperliquid to see this because I can just refresh here or just refresh this whole bot page, right? Basically, and it will always fetch the latest information. And I know, okay, I'm in a position. Now you have everything you need to know. Let me go like this to automate any strategy from TradingView on Hyperliquid. How cool is that? All right. Let me know down in the comments. Yes, you can also go short. You can leverage long and short. That's the first time that Signum can do this, right? And we've done it in an easy way where you just do exactly the same as before, but now it can also short, right? It can also leverage. It's very nice, okay? So go and try it out. If you have a strategy that goes short, then you can use that as well. For leverage, you can just simply select it in Signum itself. So as I promised you, I want to talk about a couple of risks, okay? Because there are some risks that you should know about. So this is the last thing that we have, all right? The risks and the fees. Let's talk about the fees first because that's actually good news. So the fees are very cheap. You can see them over here and you will have the taker fee, right? Because you are a taker, you do market orders and that's fine because you want to copy a strategy. You can't afford to not trade when the strategy trades. You have to trade when the strategy trades and that's why you need to do it with the market order. So here below 5 million trading volume in the last 14 days, you pay 0.035%. That is not a lot of money if you think about Bybit, for example, which costs 0.1%, or Coinbase, which costs 0.24%, or even more, maybe slightly more. So that's huge. Okay, it's very cheap, this one. And yeah, so keep that in mind. That is nice. The other risks that you need to know about or things you need to know about is it's about the decentralization part, right? So is Hyperliquid fully decentralized? Well, not really because they have their own blockchain, but they have a lot of like humans in the loop. It's not completely smart contract driven, right? So they can, if they want to, block your account. They can block withdrawals. Actually happened already to some exploiter that couldn't withdraw its funds. So yes, you can connect with wallet and you can stay anonymous basically, but is it still connected to human intervention and can they do it? Yes. Okay. So the blockchain is not very decentralized. They basically run it themselves, right? Yeah. But Hyperliquid is the largest futures, perpetual futures exchange on chain. Okay. So that is impressive. Okay. That is why this is a very interesting integration, but you need to know what you're doing, right? Also, because this is not spot, you cannot simply buy and hold, right? Because you're in a position, right? You don't even have the real asset, right? Because you're in futures. Futures are not spot. Spot means you have the real asset. If you buy, right, you have the actual asset in your account. But for futures, you're just betting on the price fluctuations. You never have the asset, okay? So if you buy at a stupid time and then you think, I will just hold on to it until it comes back, okay, but because it's futures, you pay funding fees. All right. So, I mean, that's very expensive if you hold it for years, that the exchange will be very happy, but you will lose money all the time, right? Because in spot, you pay nothing for holding, but in futures, you do. Okay. I mean, especially if you have leverage, then you pay even more because you also pay the fees for borrowing that money, right? So, I mean, just a couple of things you need to know, right? So, this is why you need to know about the risks of this. Is it for everybody? I don't think so, to be honest. It's for people who want to stay, on chain. There are a couple of very good use cases for that. For example, if you want to trade from a country where cheap exchanges are not allowed, okay, right? Then you might use this and you know about the risks, so you can take them, right? Then also in a potential bear market that is coming up, it's always better to be outside of centralized exchanges. So even if Hyperliquid is still run by humans and they can still intervene, the chances of them taking your money when let's say they go bankrupt, it's very low because it's in a smart contract. Yes, it's in their blockchain and they would be basically fraudulent if they just take the money, right? But in a centralized exchange, they have to take the money. That's how they do bail-ins, right? But here the chance is much higher that they will go bankrupt and your money is still your money, right? So that is good. I'm not saying 100% that's the case, but it's higher chances of that being the case. So if you want to trade in the bear, where exchanges have higher chances of going bankrupt, being on a decentralized version is better. Okay, so that's another thing, right, where it makes sense. But you need to keep in mind also that Hyperliquid is a fresh exchange, is a new one, right? So the thing is that it didn't yet prove itself to be resilient when there is a massive drawdown bear market or something like that, right? I mean, we have to be honest, right? So those are some of the risks that you need to know about so that you don't take too much risk when you are using this stuff. So I would use it with smaller amounts of money, maybe on altcoins, right? Not on Bitcoin, not on Ethereum or Solana. I think it's fine to split across several exchanges. So for example, you can have Signum connected to several large exchanges like, for example, Binance, Bybit. You can go BitGet as well and have funds spread across so that you mitigate the risk. But also you want to trade some smaller altcoins with Hyperliquid. That's fine, right? Because then you're not putting too much money at risk, right? You can leverage also so that you have more funds than you have, which of course you need to take care. But if your idea is to put less money on Hyperliquid, you do have the money, right? You just don't want to give it to them. Then leverage is okay because once you come close to liquidation level, you can add more money, right? The stupid stuff is when you leverage more than you actually have, because then you can't cover and then you get liquidated, right? So that's a big difference here. Okay, so those are the risks. This is how you do it. I hope you like this video. I'm super excited because we now have trade automation on decentralized exchange and more are coming. Ultra exciting stuff. And if you want to learn about the risks of going short and why it's actually riskier than you think, then this is the next video you should watch.